Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Oh, it just got darker when I started the camera. It just got darker, so let's turn up the lights on the computer a little bit. How are you guys doing today? Okay, so I'm filming in front of the computer, first of all, because I am trying to upload, well, I have one video uploaded already, my Peterisms video. Let me cross that off my list. I'm currently uploading my drama channel video on my phone. And then I also filmed a Peterisms video and a TV video. So I'm trying to upload those while I'm vlogging so that I can then go take a shower and get ready for marriage counseling tonight. Today has been, it has been a very long day. I actually wanted to do a review video too. And if I have enough time when I get done with this, we'll just see how long this goes. If I have time to do a review video, I might turn around and do a review video. But I don't think so, because I don't know that I'll have enough time to get it rendered and get it uploaded while I'm gone. So probably not. And I'm not entirely sure yet if I'm going to go to a meeting with Tanya or not tonight. I haven't heard from Tanya, and it is currently, should we do a time check? It is currently, time check, 3:39 p.m. And the temperature, let's look at the Indianapolis temperature. Hold on a second. Indianapolis weather. It usually pulls right up. Okay, hold on. It is 84 degrees and it's cloudy outside today, and it was actually really nice. Oh, hi, Bradley. How are you? I just put him on his bed. He must have jumped down because he's now staring at me. It was actually nice earlier. In fact, I was like, today would have been a good pool day. It was supposed to rain all day today, so I was kind of surprised. It was nice. But it was nice earlier. So that's one of the reasons is that I'm uploading the videos. The other reason is that it's extremely windy outside today. And the third reason is that the landscapers are here doing the lawn today. I just took Boo Radley outside and I was talking to my neighbor. They cut the lawn and now they're spraying it. I don't know what they're spraying it with, but I didn't want to have Boo Radley out there on the lawn when they were spraying it. They didn't send an email out and say what they were spraying it, so I have no idea what they're spraying the lawn with. So I've got to ask because that happened after I was talking to my neighbor. So I'm going to ask one of my neighbors what they're spraying with. My other neighbor came home while I was out there, and she was like, what are they spraying? And I said, I have no idea. So anyway, those are the reasons why. I actually have video from last night. I was sitting outside before I started, like when I got up from my nap, and before I started watching my show last night, and it like out of nowhere. It was supposed to storm again, like the night before it was like 1 to 5, and then last night it was like 12 to 5 or something. And literally it was super, super still. I mean, it was so still. It was the weirdest thing. I was like, we're gonna have a tornado or something. It was so still outside, and then out of nowhere, like it turned from being extremely still to like the most unbelievable wind you have ever seen. And I took like 3 videos of it, but I'm actually uploading a video on my phone right now. So when it gets uploaded, I will show you the video of it, because it was beautiful. But then it started raining, and the rain was coming down real hard. And both nights I've been really good about taking my pillows and hiding them and turning my chairs up so that they don't get soaking wet, and putting Farrah and the ferns, Farrah and Fernalicious out so they get rained on, they get some water. Did I tell you this? I checked the plants in the back, because I very rarely go out in the back patio. I haven't even used the back patio, not once this summer. Alex goes out there sometimes and sits, and he takes Boo Radley out there quite a bit and stuff, but I went and I looked at the plants out there, and the plants are doing really good on the back patio. They're not flowering a lot, but the palm leaves are doing good, and the green part on the bottom is growing well and stuff like that. So they must be doing, I haven't really even watered them that much. So just from the rain, they're doing well. But anyway, you know, I water Fernalicious and Farrah pretty often, a couple times a week, but if it rains, I try to put them out there so that they get, like, you know, rainwater and stuff. Farrah blew over, and then I put her back up, and she blew over again today because it's so windy outside. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to film inside, it'll be easier. I can upload my videos. I have my thumbnails made, except for my drama channel video, so I have to make a thumbnail for that. But yeah, today's been crazy, because of course I pushed it again last night, staying up late like I always do. I'm pretty tired today. I mean, I wouldn't say like I'm exhausted tired, but I could lay down and take a nap. And so I'm gonna take a shower and get ready in case. I told Tanya, she was like, do you wanna go to a meeting? We talked last night, and she was like, do you wanna go to a meeting tomorrow night? And I said, well, are you super busy? And she was like, I just don't know. She's like, we've been so busy this summer at the kennel. And she was like, I just don't know what time I'm gonna get out of there. And I said, well, can you let me know by 4? Because 4 is like when I'm, well, 4:30 is when I'm gonna take a shower, but I said 4, can you let me know by 4? if you want to go to a meeting or not, and then like I'll, you know, get ready and whatever. Because if we just go to marriage counseling, I'll probably just wear like a t-shirt. Sometimes I try to like look cute for marriage counseling, but most times I'm just like jeans or shorts and a t-shirt. But since I went to my hair appointment today, I want to wash my hair out and stuff like that. So I'm going to do that. But if we're going to go to a meeting, you know, I'll try to look a little bit nicer for that. So, but anyway, I think I'm going to dress either way. And then if she texts me between like when I leave here at marriage counseling, because it's real close to where she lives, real close to where a marriage counselor is, then Alex can just drop me there on the way home. So this video looks like it's going to take forever to upload my drama video. It says 40 minutes. Well, at least it'll be uploaded before I leave here. So we'll see about the other videos. You know what I should do? Did you hear that? It sounds like little teeny angels talking, but it's not. I was like, what is that sound? Hold on just a second. So, I don't know if we're going to a meeting or not. Since I haven't heard from her yet, I would be kind of surprised if she would text me. And honestly, she's usually, like when I say, can you text me before, like a certain time? She usually texts me before that. So if we're going to go to the meeting, she'll probably text me in like the next 20 minutes and let me know that she wants to go to the meeting. So, I'll probably let you guys know before I get off here if we're going to the meeting or not. But she could text me at 6 o'clock too and be like, I just got out of work, do you want to go? So that could be the case. But, I doubt that. So, and in all honesty, I would not really care tonight if we went to the meeting or not, because I would really like to walk if it doesn't, it's supposed to pour down rain. That was the thing. Tanya she doesn't love to drive in the rain, and so she was like, if it's raining, I don't really want to go. Is it supposed to rain? I said, I have no idea what it's supposed to do. Well, now they're saying that we're supposed to get rain, so she may not want to go because of that. But if it was so weird because it was so nice all day long today. Okay, hold on a second. What video am I going to upload over here? So, yeah, it was so nice all day today. So, I don't know. And then we were talking about other days to go to meetings this week and get together and stuff like that. So, Alex doesn't really have anything. I don't think I have anything this weekend to do. The book club on Sunday. That's the other thing, is I'm like trying to like get through these true crime books. I've been like, last night I listened to quite a bit of the audiobook, the Lori Vallow book, and so I'm probably like a third of the way through that. And then, so I like to read and maybe get like almost done with that tonight, and then I can start the John Douglas book tomorrow, and then have those books done before the book. Well, obviously, I'll do it if I have to stay up all night long and listen to those books. I'll have them. I always have them done in time for the book club. So, I think there was like only one book out of all the true crime books that I didn't finish. I think there's only when it was like the first couple months. So yeah, I'll have those done. So that's on. Why does it look like this is taking longer than 45 minutes? Hold on a second. So that's my plan tonight. Either go to the meeting with Tanya, and then when I come home, watch TV shows. Tomorrow's Cousin Fun Day, and so I actually should text Caroline while I'm sitting here thinking about it. People keep on asking me to talk about this Trixie Mattel thing. I don't know anything about it. And here's the video. I'm taking a break. Here's why. I haven't watched it yet. Has anybody watched it? I don't know anything about it. Caroline. Here she is. I do have to say this. I'm like crazy about, like in my head, I've been like really wanting to go to the casino lately, but I'm trying to like figure the right day to do it. Like Friday, Alex is here all day, so Thursday to go do that, and then like I like to kind of like, you know, be with him during the day and stuff like that. Well, you know, he has meetings in the morning, but then he's usually here in the afternoon. He has either meetings from home or he has to go in for meetings, and then he's usually here in the afternoon unless he does like an IV thing or whatever. So I like to spend some time during the day with him on Friday, and so Thursday, I don't want to go because I don't want to be super, super tired. If I go tonight, that means I'm going to be tired for Cousin Fun Day tomorrow, unless we go at, you know, like, unless she says like 1 or 2. I think we agreed on 1. But it would also depend on getting a ride home from the casino. And then Wednesday night would actually be a good night to go. But when I come home from Caroline's tomorrow, I'll probably film videos. Oh, hold on, she said yes. I think she said 1 o'clock. Caroline is like so on it about. She said yes, 1. Yay. Can't wait. So I'll come home from being with Caroline tomorrow, film a bunch, and then I'll be really tired and want to take a nap and also walk. And so I want to go. Caroline and Alex, they both heart like every text I send them. So I won't want to go tomorrow night. So then I'm like, should I just wait till next week? I like really want to go to the casino because I haven't been, like, I think it was like April or something. It was 6 months since the last time that Valerie and I went. And when I looked back, I thought it was like September 30th, but it was actually like September 24th. It was like September, October, November, December, January, February, March. It was like March or April was the last time that I went to the casino. And so it's been a couple months, and I've been just kind of like, it'd be kind of fun to go. I don't want to go on a weekend night. It's too busy. I like to go during the week. Oh, this was a thing. So people, when I mentioned it last week, people were like, well, can't you schedule Ubers to come and pick you up at a certain time? So I've kind of talked about this on here. I actually have talked about it kind of enough that I was kind of surprised I got that many comments about it because I've shared on here. So I can, but here's the thing with going to the casino, right? And I know this is going to sound stupid because it's like, well, if you really want to go that bad, why would it matter? Alex doesn't get it either. So trust me, the fact that there are people out there that don't get it, I get, like Alex is like, okay, well then quit complaining about whatever. But like, let's say if I arrange a ride for 2 o'clock. First of all, I'm not entirely sure. Like, okay, so Anderson, Indiana is a country town, okay? It's like 40 minutes. It's like 35, 40 minutes from me, right? So it's not like mainstream Indianapolis. So even if I schedule an Uber or Lyft, I don't even know that somebody would pick up that ride for 2 o'clock in the morning. I just don't know that they would, right? But let's just say if they do, let's say at 1:55, I hit like a major bonus, okay? And I want to stay because I don't ever go. So I want to stay. I don't want to leave until I'm ready to leave, if that makes sense, right? But my Uber's there. So I can't, you know, I have to go. So I, you know, whatever. Because the way I play is I take a certain amount of money and then when it's gone, I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? And so if I hit a bonus, I would want to stay for a little bit longer and keep on playing. But if I don't, then the chances that I'm not going to be able to get an Uber, if I don't schedule it early, I'm not going to be able to get an Uber. And then the other thing is, like, let's say if I schedule it for like 4 o'clock in the morning and somebody does pick it up and actually is like, I schedule that, the reality is I could run out of money at 1 o'clock and be waiting there for 3 hours. You know what I mean? So I try not to take more money out while I'm there and stuff like that. I just try to, you know, spend what I take. And so I don't, it's just, I mean, if it was like 20 minutes up the street, it would be like no big deal. But it's like, I mean, nobody's running Ubers or Lyfts in this small town in the middle of the night. I actually didn't think it would be like that hard. And so I felt really stuck. The thing is, I would love to go, but I don't want that feeling of being stuck again. I did not like that feeling. If I was totally fine with being there till like 5 o'clock in the morning and then, you know, just being like, it is what it is. And, you know, which is so weird because back in the day when Valerie and I went, we would sometimes stay till 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Like that was no thing, right? So I don't know, like if I was gonna go, last time I think I went a little bit earlier. I think I would wait and maybe like walk and then go if I was gonna do it, and then go a little bit later, so that I stayed a little bit longer. But so then if I got there at like 11, then like to leave at like 5, like that's still a long time to be at the casino, but you know what I'm saying. So anyway, so yeah, I could schedule one, but I don't even know that anybody would pick up a scheduled ride at 2 o'clock in the morning out in the middle of the nowhere. I just don't know that they would. It's not like they're not making that much money off that ride. It's like a 35-minute ride. It's not like going to the airport or something like that. So that's the one thing. But yeah, I mean, I could do that. So the other thing is that I'd have to wait. So it's like 6 of one, half dozen the other. So I don't know. But I've been wanting to go to the casino. But I kind of want to figure out, like, I want to do it on a night that I'm rested. I want to do it on a night that I'm like really excited to go. And that I don't have a lot going on the next day. Tomorrow I have cousin fun day and stuff like that. So tonight's probably not a good night to go. Tomorrow night would actually be a good night to go if I'm rested. The other thing, and I know this is going to sound cheesy, but I can totally listen to my audiobook while I'm playing at the slot machines. So I could sit and listen to my true crime books for this week while I'm playing slots. I know it sounds cheesy, but I was like, that is a thought that I could go up there and just like bang out 2 books while I was sitting there, and then it could be kind of fun for me at the same time to listen to these true crime books while I'm, you know, whatever. So I don't know, we'll see. If I went tonight and let's say if I couldn't get an Uber until 5, that would put me home and in bed by like 6, and then I get like 6 hours of sleep, and then Caroline would come home at Caroline would come by like at 1, and then I could take a nap after I got back from Cousin Fun Day, you know? I don't know, I've kept on feeling like, it's so funny, like having this stare back at me, Trixie Mattel, like I'm taking a break, here's why, she's like this. It reminds me of the the thumbnail reminds me of the Jeffree Star apology video. I should actually put those up side by side. But anyway, and I haven't watched it, I don't know why, but people have been asking me to cover it because apparently it's about like taking a mental health break, which I'm totally all for. People say all the time, like, if you need to take breaks, Peter, like take breaks and all this kind of stuff, right? And I've been feeling like I need to take like a day, I feel like I need to take 3 or 4 days and just not film anything. I don't feel like I'm going, like, here's the thing though, right? Like, I don't feel like I'm going through anything. I don't feel stressed. I don't feel like I'm struggling with a lot of like mental health stuff. In fact, I talked about when I made the OCD video that the next day or that night after that, like I was really struggling, like my like number counting and rituals were coming out and the rewinding the TV. But like the next day after that, things went kind of back to normal. It was like, I wasn't really dealing with it anymore. I don't know if it was just like on my mind that night because I just talked in a video about it for like an hour. I don't know, maybe that was what it was. But the next day, I was kind of like back to normal. It was like, it was back to where I was like 2 days before that, before I made the video. So I don't know, maybe it was just that night. Like I don't feel stressed. I mean, yesterday I was at the pool all day long. I have a blessed life. I mean, Alex and I have been spending a lot of time together. You know, I've been talking to my friends. I feel peaceful. Boo Radley's doing great. You know, I'm not stressed about anything. I'm not stressed about being online. I don't feel like I need to take a mental health break. But the thing is that other than when we were in Mexico, and even when we were in Mexico, I filmed pretty consistently down there, at least a vlog, right? And so I have filmed a vlog every single day since April 1st. So, and it's not like all my vlogs have been really, really long, but when we were in Mexico, I filmed vlogs the whole time, and I was filming like a drama video every day, every other day while I was there. I pre-filmed some videos for like the day or two after we got there. I don't feel like I have really taken like like I was talking to this woman yesterday that's off for like the next 5 days at the pool, and she's like, yeah, I haven't had like five days off in a row in like 6 months to a year. And I was thinking, I haven't taken 5 days off from not filming, and I don't even know how long. I have no idea how long it's been since I literally haven't sat in front of a camera and filmed a video, at least one video every single day for 5 days in a row. Like, I don't even know the last time that I did that, right? And so I've been really thinking about like, this meme keeps on coming up. Okay, this meme quote, memes, quotes. This quote keeps on coming up on Instagram that says, for me, and I'm like, when I see something that comes up over and over and over again, I keep on like thinking like, okay, that, you know, that means something. And it keeps on coming up, and it's like, every week, every person should take one day and not do everything. Every person should do this, do that. It's all about like self-care and whatever. And I believe that, right? Here's the thing. It's a weird thing to call YouTube my job because this was never my plan. I mean, when I sat down here 8 years ago in May, and started making my booktube channel, or booktube videos, I never thought that this would turn into a thing where literally I paid my bills off of it, right? Like I never in a million years would have thought that that would be my life. And so the fact that today I have one channel. I mean, the reality that I have 7 channels today. And so like the problem is like I sit down, like, so I got home today. I really wasn't even going to do a drama video today. I was like, okay, I'm just going to do, like, I wanted to do the Dark Matter video for TV. So I was like, I'm going to do that and the Peter Does Stuff video and a vlog. And then I'm just going to kind of rest the rest of the day. Even when I got home, it was so nice. I was thinking about maybe just doing the vlog and going to the pool because it was so nice, right? But I come home, and I got home and I made the bed, took Boo Radley out, made the bed and stuff because I hadn't made it before I left. And so I was like, when I was up there, I was like, I'm just gonna film this drama video that I had, like, people had sent me some stuff about. So I sat down and I made this drama video, and it was like 45 minutes. Well, then I'm like revved up to go, right? And so I sat down after that, and I came down here. No, I filmed that, and then I turned around and I filmed a Peterisms video right away, because I was like, okay, since you're up here and you just filmed this drama video, this is my mindset, right? And the thing is that I have so much fun doing it. I don't really know, like, I wish this for everybody. I really do. I wish for everybody that you had a job that you loved so much that you wanted to do every single day, right? Like, I can remember when I was growing up and I said to my dad something about doing something. He goes, do what you love and the money will follow. And if the money doesn't follow, at least you do something that you love and you can pay your bills with it, right? And that was kind of it, you know? And so I get to get up every single day and do something that I love. And then on top of that, I get to call that my job and pay my bills with it. I mean, it's you guys, and you guys give me that. If nobody was watching my videos, I wouldn't be able to afford that life. I mean, you guys have given me that. You've afforded me that life, you know? I think there's like this big, huge misconception that like my husband makes like all this money and blah, 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 whatever. And that, you know, he pays all the bills and whatever. Like that is just totally not the case. And I will just, I mean, without saying anything, I mean, YouTube and being online, you know, on whatever you're doing is lucrative. It just is, you know? And so, I mean, some of my channels, I don't make any money at all. Like my Peterisms channel, I was telling somebody the other day, they're like, well, you post all the time, you must make a lot of money. I'm like $20 a month. Yeah, like that's not paying a lot of bills. But, you know, it's like, you know, other things. And so, I just never in a million years thought this would be my life. I've always kind of been of that attitude though, right? Like, I can remember like when I first started working in treatment and like somebody would call me and it would be a Saturday and I'd just be like watching TV or something and somebody would call me and be like, I'm really sick, do you mind picking up my shift? And I'd be like, I deserve the day off, right? But I'd also at the same time be like, and I don't know where I got this from because I just was not a huge hard worker or anything like that back in the day before I started working there. But I can remember thinking to myself, like, I mean, you're just going to sit here and watch TV all day long. Why don't you just go in and work for somebody and let, you know, then they can be at home and, you know, you'll make more money and, you know, and you'll have fun and you'll get to go and interact with people and stuff. So I would go in and I used to cover shifts for people all the time. I can remember when I first started working there, right? People call me all the time because they knew that I would pick up their shifts. That's kind of my attitude today. It's like when I'm just sitting down here and Alex is like, I'm like, what are you going to do? And he's like, well, I'm going to watch a couple of episodes of The Boys, this TV show, or, you know, House of Dragons or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, I could sit here and I could do this and do nothing and take a nap. Or I could film a couple of videos and I love to do that. And so that's kind of my mentality with it, right? Like, and so I do that, you know, and I feel very, very blessed. I think the other thing is, like the money thing. It's interesting, like the money thing, like every once in a while, we'll like, you know, people will be like, oh, Peter's trust fund, this. None of that is true. I wish. I wish that I had some huge trust fund. I wish I was a trust fund kid and that my dad gave me all this money, and that's just not the case. And people have said that for years on here or whatever. I wish that were the case, right? I have friends of mine that that's the case. I have friends of mine whose parents give them like 100 grand for cash every year for Christmas. That is not the case. I think the last time that my dad gave me money was the week that my mom passed away, and I paid him back every cent. Every bit of money that my dad's given me since I got sober, I've paid him back. And so, but, you know, at the same time, I don't wish that was true. I mean, I think it would be nice if I was gifted tons of money, but that's not true of Alex or I, you know? And I talked a lot about bills on here. Actually, the way that we do our bills, because Alex and I both, in past relationships, were in really unhealthy financial situations. And where a lot of money was, like, missing at the end of the relationship. And we were like, where's the money? For both of us. So where is this going out of focus? Why is this going out of focus? Hold on, let me turn the light. Okay, there it goes. So when Alex and I got in this relationship, we like really wanted to try to figure out how we wanted to do things. And I can remember talking to Tanya. Actually, Tanya and her husband, the way that they do things is a lot. And they do things a little bit different than us, but it's a lot of how we decided to do our finances. So the way that Alex and I do our finances is we have a collective account that we each put equal amount in to pay our bills, our joint bills. But our joint bills are not a lot, because a couple years ago we really decided we spent 2 years working hard to pay off the condo. So we paid off the condo like 2 years ago. I mean, we worked really, really hard. That was like our main goal, right? And so that was that. And then the rest of it, we split. It's not that expensive. It's HOA, it's you know, or insurance and stuff like that. And utilities and whatever, cell phones. I mean, it's not that expensive at all. Streaming services and stuff like that. But I think like he pays like for half of them and I pay for the other half of the streaming services and stuff like that. The way that it works so well for us is that we never fight about money, because if I want to buy $200 worth of shit on Amazon, he's not like, well, you shouldn't have done that. That money could have gone for, I mean, any trip. We always like, I'll pay for a trip, he pays for a trip. I pay for dinner, he pays for dinner. It's not like we're keeping tabs, but we're pretty even with that kind of stuff, you know, like, I mean, we'll go out to brunch and I'll be like, I got it, babe. And he'll be like, oh, thanks for brunch, I appreciate it. And then we'll go out to dinner and he'll be like, oh, I'll get it this time and whatever. I mean, we're pretty even with that stuff. It's not like we keep like a score or anything like that. It's nothing like that at all. But, you know, it's like, what we want to spend our money on, we don't fight about. So if he wants to spend $400 worth of clothes, I don't sit there and go, okay. And I see a lot of couples that fight this way. They're like, well, we need new stuff this. Well, if we need new stuff for the house, Alex and I discuss it, you know, and if we need something that's going to cost us $1,000 and he pitches in $500 and I pitch in $500, and that's how we do it. And then however he wants to spend the rest of his money, however the rest of it, you know, we have joint savings. Alex and I would say, since we paid off all of our debt, and I talked about that, all the debt that I had earlier, since we did all of that, like, paying off that debt really taught me that all that money that I was paying towards credit card debt and all that stuff from the past was money that I could have put into savings. And I had been putting money into savings, but I talked to my dad, and I can remember my dad saying, you have all this savings set aside, which I wouldn't touch, and I never did, right? But he was like, but you have this debt, so you don't really have savings, because if you have outstanding debt, you know, even if you have a car loan, a house payment, things like, you don't really have tons of savings. You have savings for a rainy day, but you have all this debt. You have all this outstanding debt, especially when it's credit card debt, right? And it really made me look at finances in a completely different way, because I was like, I do have the savings set over here that I've worked really hard on, right? But if I have all this debt over here and it equals, you know, then really do I? But Alex and I have been, I mean, it's a huge part of what we do as far as like, different savings accounts for different things, long-term savings accounts, trips, things like that. We've been very deliberate about this amount of money from each of us goes into that each month, and saving that and things like that. You know, it's interesting because I don't think Alex and I, neither one of us grew up being very smart with money, and I feel like I know a lot of people. I'm either surrounded by people like that are very smart with money, like Tanya and her husband have taught me so much about money. My dad and my stepmom are very smart with money. I've been, you know, around people. I don't think that my mom was very smart with money. I think she was very scared of, you know, a lot of like money issues and things like that. I think, you know, like I am totally like by a budget. Like I put money, I can tell you, I mean, I have a notebook right here. The notebook that I keep. You can see it's crossed off all the bills every month that I have to pay. I have it budgeted down to how much money for entertainment, how much money for spending, for shopping, how much money for food. I have it budgeted, and then that money goes over to the next month. And then like every 6 months, I pay myself from those, what's overflow from that. And that goes into a personal savings account. That's all the stuff from the Dave Ramsey book. You know, I just read stuff, and then people that obviously knew more than I did, I just took their advice and followed it. And I'm really grateful for that today, you know? Because I don't think Alex and I, neither one of us grew up very smart with money. I don't know anything about money, whatever, right? You know, but I think like learning to save money has probably been one of the smartest things. I can remember, so when I worked in treatment, if you were admitted on a weekend when you couldn't do an insurance, like they couldn't get approval on insurance, you had to put it, and this was like when I worked like 90, 95 on, I think it increased over the years, but you had to put a $4,000 deposit down for somebody to come in to treatment on a weekend before they could get insurance approval, because insurance companies weren't like, they wouldn't do approvals on a Saturday and Sunday. So for somebody to admit their spouse or their child or their grandparent or whatever, you know, friend on a weekend, you would have to put a $4,000 deposit down to cover those 2 days on the weekend, okay? And I can remember like these people would be like, and it wasn't like our clientele was super rich people. It just wasn't. But I can remember being like, how are these people like writing? I do not have $4,000 worth of savings. Like I can remember that, right? And other people that I would know would be like, have to do this and have to do that. And I was like, I have got to start saving some money. Like, I'm a grown adult, like, and I have no savings, you know? And I can remember at that time, it was like, I could hardly get from paycheck to paycheck to do savings. But then I started, like, when I started paying off debt, I started looking at all the frivolous crap that I spent money on. You know, and it wasn't just like, I mean, I buy a lot of crap on Amazon. I do Amazon hauls and stuff like that, but that comes from my shopping account. Like, that comes from what I can spend and the overflow. But, like, even when I would, like, go to the grocery store and stuff, like, I would just buy so much crap that just would sit in the closet, you know, for weeks on end. I wouldn't buy one soup, I'd buy 10, you know, and then those 10 soups would sit in the closet and just waste, and that was like $3 a soup or something, right? Well, that's $30 instead of buying 2 or 3 soups, and then when they're gone, buy 2 or 3 more. The camera stopped. I learned a lot from Alex. Alex learned a lot from me, and we just had to be really, really smart for a long time, you know? So I can remember, I don't know how much I've talked about this with paying off the condo, but I can remember when we paid off the condo, Alex looked at me and he said, "What's your immediate feeling about it?" And I said, it was really weird. I mean, it's like our condo is like not worth anything, a fortune or anything like that. And it's not huge or anything, but it was weird for me being like 50 years old and like, and so I paid it off once when my mom passed away, because whatever she had left on it, I paid it off, and then took a mortgage out for, to pay off the debt, and then paid the debt off. And so that was how we got the mortgage on the condo. And so when we paid it off, I was like, I looked at Alex and I said, and I know this is kind of a weird way of thinking about it, and whenever I say this to anybody, like, nobody's really moved by this, but working with so many people as a social worker in populations of homelessness, I looked at Alex and I said, as long as we can pay our HOA fees and our property taxes and our insurance, I said, we will never be homeless, and nobody that we ever know will be homeless, because they'll always have a place to live and a place to stay. And I said, that's really super powerful to me, because I was always fearful that my mom would be homeless at some point, because she was always worried about money, and I just didn't think that she would ever be able, you know, I didn't know that what would happen to her as she got older and things like that. And it was super powerful to me to think that, like, anybody that we know, if, like, they need a place to stay, we have a place to stay, you know? And so that was, like, super powerful to me. I mean, obviously, it saves me a lot to not have a car, and, you know, Ubers are expensive, but I don't take Ubers that much. So that saves me a lot to not have a car insurance, gas, stuff to fix on a car and all that kind of stuff. So that saves me a lot, you know? I remember, like, talking to this friend of mine that I worked in treatment with, and if I was, like, 30 at the time, he would have been like 50. He was one of my good friends. And I remember asking him, I said, what's something that you wish you knew, that you know now that you wish you knew at my age, that would, like, change your life? And I'll never forget, he said, I wish I had bought my first home when I was your age and I'd owned property, because it's the greatest investment that you can buy. And I can remember when I finally paid off, like, we finally paid off the condo, and I was like, he's so right. Like, it's security. It's not just about money, it's about security. I mean, we have friends of ours that own 5 homes and flip them and things like that. We don't have that kind of money to do that kind of stuff. I wish we did. Alex wants to get into that so bad, and I'm just like, I don't know much about it, you know. We've invested here and invested there with people and some businesses and stuff like that, so that's helped us out through the years and things like that, but I don't know much about, like, flipping houses and stuff like that. I mean, we have friends of ours that approach us about business opportunities, and we've engaged in some of them, and they've been very helpful to us and things like that. I mean, his job in YouTube is not definitely, obviously, our only, you know, sources of income, so that's been helpful, but I don't know enough about, like, flipping houses, and I mean, we have so many friends of ours that do that, and Airbnb the places and stuff like that. I'm sure there's a lot of money in it. How did I even get into talking about all this today? It's so boring, isn't it? But anyway, it's funny because I feel like I know a lot of people that if you looked at them from the outside in with their houses and their cars and stuff like that, it would appear that they have millions of dollars. And I can remember talking to Alex about one of our friends that we're not really even that close with anymore, this couple. And I said something, and he goes, I think that they present like they have a lot of money, but I think that it probably seems like they probably overspend a lot, like we did and like a lot of people do and whatever. And I remember, like, later finding that out to be kind of true for numerous people that I knew. And I thought, you know, like, for me, And I buy crap on Amazon, but I never go over my limit of what I can buy. Like going to the casino, it's like I never go over my limit, right? And so I think that like paying off debt and all that stuff has really taught me about like living simpler and enjoying the simpler, smaller things in life. And I think that's probably been the best thing, is like looking at long-term safety and security and things like that. I mean, people ask me all the time, like, like back in the day, people would kind of ask it like, oh, you used to talk about getting a house in Florida. Are you still getting a house in Florida? Well, we still want to do that. We still want to get a place in Florida or San Diego. We don't really know where yet. The reality is we want to fix up this condo and we want to buy another place, and that would be like our futures going back and forth between those two places. Financially, it's not lucrative for us right now. I mean, I don't know about you, but like, I mean, maybe it's your plan to drive a Porsche, but you can't afford one right now. So are you going to go out and buy a Porsche tomorrow? Well, no, because you don't have the money for it. We don't have the money for it right now. But we have a plan, you know, we have like a 5-year plan for what that's going to look like, and saving enough money to put, you know, on a down payment. The other thing is, I don't necessarily want to be house poor, you know? I mean, for the first time in our life, I mean, I said to my husband, I said, you're 40 years old, you own your own place. Like, that's pretty huge, right? Like, and we did that. We paid that off. You know, nobody paid that off for us. We did that. And so I said, I don't know that I want to be really house poor. And I don't think that you know, like we've talked about, like realize like what a big deal that is, you know? Because I mean, we've now lived 2 years without having, you know, a mortgage. Like, that's a big deal. And we didn't live in a condo, we wouldn't have like HOA fees, which is basically like a rent every month, you know? So, I mean, because the prices are so high. I feel like people in this neighborhood are really complaining about the HOA fees this summer. So, I don't know. I'm grateful I figured it out when I did with the financial stuff. Because I think it would have just like doubled or quadrupled, and I just would be like in so much like mess. I don't even know. Like I said, I don't think either Alex or I were raised with anybody being like teaching us very... I think my dad tried, especially like when I was in high school. I think he tried. You know, my parents always like talked to me about savings accounts and stuff like that. I just don't think I got it, or I don't even know if I cared or anything. You know what I mean? And so, I haven't heard from Tanya, so that must mean we're not going to the meeting, because what time is it? It's like 4:15. I don't know, I just like, I don't feel like I was very smart with money, especially when I was younger. And even when I like got sober and stuff like that, I wasn't very smart with money at first. I don't know. I think being smart by money, what I mean by that is, I think I mean by like thinking like 10 to 20 years down the road always, and saving for that time, not becoming fixated on it. Like, I have so many friends of mine that, and this was gonna be a hard thing to say, but like, I have so many friends of mine that are like, so like they won't spend a thing because they are saving totally for the day of retirement, but they don't want to retire until they're like 70 years old. And I'm like, my mom died at 64. I'm not saving all my money for an age that I might not even make it to. I mean, that's just my reality. I just can't do that. You know, I'm going to live my life and travel and enjoy things that I want to enjoy now. I'm not saving every cent till I'm 70 years old, because I might not make it there. You know what I mean? And, so I do have some friends like that, but I don't know, I just like, I think being smart about money is being realistic of like, okay, knowing how much you make and knowing how much you have to put out. And if that leaves you $5 over, if that leaves you $500 over, being smart what you do with that $500 or $500, you know what I mean? And there have been years of my life where my paychecks were not enough, or I only had $5 left over after paying my bills. And there have been other times where it's been $500, and it's been what I did with that, you know? I think also my mom was smart with this. Like, every time somebody would give her cash as a gift, I remember this from my Aunt Kathy would always, like, for Christmas, give my mom like a $100 bill, or a $50 bill or something. She would put it like immediately in the savings account, and then that savings account grew over time, you know? She wouldn't go out and spend it. So I think that that's smart, but I also have to be careful of that, because I go through periods where I like want to save like everything. Like the last time that I went to the casino with Valerie, like did really good, like the last 2 times we went. And I can remember saying something to her about, like, I'm going to put it into savings, and she was like, you put every cent extra into savings. She's like, just spend it on something that you want. Or she said something like that, I can't remember. Which is why I ended up buying like that. I bought that Prada bag, which I've actually got a lot of use out of, and something else, and the Prada sunglasses. And she was like, She's like, I'm glad that you did that. You know, she's like, it's good to save money, but she's like, you save all your money, like constantly, like, you know? And so that was kind of like a turning point for me. I was kind of like, I have done really good on this. Like, I should allow myself to buy myself some things every once in a while, you know? I don't know. Also, like, I was talking to my neighbor next door and her friend is like really great occupation, and she lives in a cute place, but her place is small, and she's just like, we were talking about like what she made. You know, she told me what she makes a year and stuff like that, and she goes, you know, it's a joke. Her friend is 33, and she was like, it's what it takes to live on today. She said, at my age, single. It's like you almost like, she's like, I have a great job. She was like, I almost can't afford to live on what I'm living now. And it's so interesting to me because she's making probably twice as much as I made when I was like top of the game working in treatment. And I struggled then, but it wasn't like, I mean, with me and my exes, like, we did okay. We still struggled, but we did okay. We were able to go to the casino, go to movies, go out, go to dinner and stuff like that. Like, she was talking about how she was like, it's just, I think like everything is so expensive anymore, you know? Everything is so expensive anymore. And I really do feel for, I mean, I feel for everybody, obviously, in this economy, right? But I really do feel for like that generation that's really working hard, went to school, trying to pay off school loans, things like that. And, you know, working and making between, I mean, when you're making like 70 a year and it's just not enough, you know, it's just like, and it's not like you're driving a Porsche or a, you know, Range Rover. It's like you're driving just a regular car and you don't live in a great place and you're just getting by. Like, that's a sad sentiment for our world today, I think, you know? I don't know. I also know it's not all about money, but I'll tell you this, when I didn't have a lot of money, it was a lot about money. You know, it's not about money if you can pay your bills, but when you can't pay your bills, it sure as shit is a lot about money. I mean, I remember those days, you know? I remember those days. That's why, like, when people say stuff about, oh, you have a trust fund or whatever, I can remember calling my dad and being like, I don't know what I'm going to do, Dad. Like, I'm like $100 short. And he's like, I'm sure you'll figure it out somehow. I mean, he wasn't willing to throw me $100. He just wasn't. After I got sober, I got the new sponsor, and I said to my dad, I don't want you giving me money anymore because that can't be the condition of our relationship. He was like, I have no problem with that. And after that, I would call my dad. I'd be like, Dad, I don't know what I'm going to do, you know? He'd be like, okay, well, you'll figure it out. You want me to help you figure it out? Here's what you can do, you know? I remember years and years and years ago, this is before I even got with Alex, complaining to my sponsor one time. I said something to my sponsor about, like, I was struggling so hard, and I just was like, I said, I feel like I'm paying these bills and there's nothing left. Like, I'm struggling so hard, right? And he looked at me, and I'm standing there, right, like with a cup of coffee in my hand from like Starbucks or somewhere. And he goes, the next time you want to complain to me about money and you walk through this door with a Starbucks in your hand, I don't want to hear it. He goes, you need to start making coffee at home. And I was like, but he was right, you know? It's like, those were the things I didn't think about, you know? Those were the things I didn't think about. And so, I mean, he really put me in my place back then. That's my sponsor that passed away. Actually, you know what? Somebody posted the other day on Facebook, I'm in like this private group, and they posted that last week was his 40s. When he died, he was 41 years sober, so it would have been his 43rd year sobriety birthday. They put his picture up and stuff. I really miss him. He was one of Tanya's really dear good friends. If it wasn't for her, he wouldn't have been my sponsor. I miss him so much. It's so funny because, like, when people, like, he sponsored me early and, like, for a long period of time, and but he's like really well known in Indianapolis. And at the end, he sponsored a lot of people, but when he sponsored me, he only sponsored like 2 other guys, and we didn't really know each other because they were all over. Like, one was on the east side, one was on the south side. I mean, I knew them later, but I didn't know them at first. And so, but now, when people are like, well, who was your sponsor, like, during your early years of sobriety, your first, you know, I'm like, oh, so I say what his name was, and people are like, he was your sponsor? I'm like, yeah, for like the majority of my sobriety. And they're like, how did you know him? I was like, he was one of my dearest friends. Like, even after he was my sponsor, he was one of my dearest friends. And before he was my sponsor, he was one of my really dear friends. And I will never forget, as well as I knew him, the night that I called him to ask him to be my sponsor, I was scared to death. And he said something to me like on the phone. He was like, he goes, everybody told me that you were going to ask me to be your sponsor. He's like, I thought this call would come a couple of days ago or something like that. I can't remember what he's such a horse's ass. I love that man so dearly though. He changed my life. So last night, Alex and I watched RuPaul's Drag Race, and we watched Untucked, and then he was so excited because Love Island was on, so I was ready to take a nap, and he could care less. So I went upstairs. I'm waiting for this video. This video is not even uploaded yet. Can you believe it? How much longer do I have? 5 minutes. I don't know why I went into that whole thing talking about finances and stuff like that. You know, I feel like I've been talking a lot about it lately to people, like people my own age. I was talking to them about the pool. They were asking me yesterday at the pool, they were like, what are things you wish you had known at our age and stuff like that, which I think is an interesting question in retrospect. Like, what do I wish I had known at 33 or 32, you know? A lot, financially. You know, I said to them, and I was saying this to this woman that was at the pool, she was my age too, and I said to her, we were talking about it, and I said, the things they teach you in school, like, they don't teach you about like property taxes, homeowners insurance. They don't talk to you about like saving money. You know, like everybody's like, oh, put all your money in a Roth IRA. They don't talk to you about different kinds of IRAs or savings or retirement plans. You know, I would tell you what right now. Okay, who is calling me right now? Who is this? Somebody called me and somebody texted me and I can't even look at it because my phone is uploading this video. I think I got like 4 minutes left. If I told you the amount of TikTokers, Instagrammers, and YouTubers that I have talked to through the years, since the 8 years I've been on, that don't pay taxes, and are like, oh, well, I'll get to it one of these years or whatever, and I'll pay back taxes. I'm like, it is mystifying to me. It is absolutely mystifying to me. And I can remember seeing a video of somebody that I used to follow back in the day, and coming out and talking about how they had to pay like back taxes for like 6 years and whatever. And I just was like, oh my God, like I can't tell you how many people I've talked to through the years that like, I'm like, you have an accountant and things like that. When they'll ask me, they'll be like, oh, well, like what are things that, you know, you think I need to know? Like these are people that like blew up overnight, right? And they'll be like, what do you think I need to know? And I'm like, you need to have an accountant. Like, you know, I'll never forget like going to see the Stevie Nicks concert. She was talking about when they were on tour, and it was like they started getting paid cash, she and Lindsey Buckingham, and then they started making a lot of money. And 1 week she was making 200, and then she was making 500, and then she was making 1,000 and whatever. And she said in there, she called her mom, and her mom was like, how much money are you making? She's like, I don't know. She went and like, she bought a Jaguar, and she called their attorney and said, come down here and buy this Jaguar for me. And then she painted it black. It was like a red Jaguar, and she painted it black. And she had no idea what kind of money she made or how much money she was making. And she called her mom, and her mom said, you need to get an accountant. Like, you need to get an accountant that can do your money and financial planning and taxes and stuff for you. And she didn't even think about it. So her and Lindsey Buckingham got, apparently, did Fleetwood Mac, like with all those members, they get like in trouble for like taxes or something like that? Because she said, and we were the only ones that didn't get in trouble and we have our money today. So I don't know what she meant by that, but that might have been the case. But I'll tell you, I always say that to people. I'm like, get a financial planner and make sure that you're paying your taxes every year. Like, make sure you're doing that. And they're like, yeah, but like, do you really think it's, like, what if next year I don't make that much? I'm like, pay your taxes, okay? Don't be stupid. Pay your taxes. First of all, it's the law. I don't understand people just like, oh, I'm not paying my taxes. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to. I cannot tell you how many people that I have talked to through the years that call me up. I mean, people that are like 20 times bigger than me now that blew up and passed me by. And they're like, what's something that you think I should know early on? And I'm like, get a financial planner, get an accountant, you know, pay your taxes, save 38% every month of what you make, put it aside, pay quarterly taxes, pay this. And they're like, oh, you really think so? I'm like, yeah, 100%. And then later hear people being like, oh my God, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to pay these back taxes. I owe like, you know, $100,000. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, you know. But those are things that I wish I had learned like they had taught in high school. I wish they had, you know, taught. I wish my dad would, and my mom, I mean, my dad really pushed it, but I was like always 100 excuses. I wish my parents would have really, I think getting a job in high school is vital. I wish my parents had pushed me to get a job in high school and taught me about the importance of saving money and things like that. I wish that I had learned about, I think those are all the things in school we don't learn about, is like savings accounts and how to like manage money and how to balance money and budget money. I think they should teach books like, if not Dave Ramsey, whoever, I don't care whoever, but like the Rich Dad Poor Dad. I think that should be mandatory reading for a finance. I think we should all be required to take a finance class in high school instead of stupid classes like that were never, I mean, I took classes in high school that I've never applied once in my life since then, but like I never learned about like property taxes, how to pay your taxes, how to file, who do you even call for taxes, what do you do with that, you know, or how to save money, how to set up these accounts, like who do you, like, how do you decide who to make the beneficiary for things, you know, should you do an IRA, should you do a retirement plan, you know, should you have that taken out? Yes, you should, absolutely, before your paycheck, because that's untaxed money. I mean, they should teach you that stuff, right? Like, I had to learn all that stuff the hard way, and I can remember when I asked my dad one time, he was like, how do you think I learned by making mistakes? And I can remember when he said that to me. Who is this call from? Oh, they left a voicemail, I don't know who it is, but anyway, I can remember he said that to me. I mean, my dad was always helpful to me when I would like reach out to him and be like, you know, I like don't know what to do. He'd be like, well, let me give you some suggestions and whatever. But like, they don't teach that stuff. Like, they should teach that shit in school. I wish they had, you know? I could maybe have not read Paradise Lost and taken a semester and learned about financial things that would have helped me a lot more, you know what I mean? But anyway, but they don't. Do they teach that stuff in school now? I don't know. I wish they would have taught me how to change a tire in high school, you know? Or, you know, stuff around the house. I mean, we have like home ec and shop and things like that. Do they even have those classes anymore? You know, like, I wish they would teach me stuff like that. Like how to shop with coupons, you know, how to save money online, things like that. Those are the things they should teach us how to do. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Those are the things they should be teaching in school. I guess it's more important to read the classics. Don't get me wrong, I loved reading the classics, but so many life lessons. There was a guy that was a couple of years ago, I saw him like on Instagram or TikTok, maybe it was YouTube. He had started a YouTube channel. He was like my age, maybe like 10 years older than me, but he did these videos for things that he never, a couple people reached out to me about it, and I watched a couple of his videos. I thought they was genius what he was doing. I don't know anything about the guy. I don't even know what his name is, but he was doing videos like how to change a tire on a car and stuff like that, or how to do this or how to do that. And they were things that he never taught his kids that he wished he had. And so he was making videos. Do you guys remember this guy? I thought it was so smart that he did that, you know? But yeah, nobody teaches us that stuff. I wanted to show you these videos of, come on now, it's almost 4:30. I wanted to show you these videos of the wind. Oh wait, did it just, okay. Is it processing now? Okay, it's processing. So I'm gonna keep on talking for a couple more minutes. So last night, after the rainstorm, I came inside, put on my fan again, but I was so cold from the fan, so I had to like turn it off after a while. But I love the sound of the fan down here when I'm watching my show. Mostly the feeling of it, because I have my AirPods in. And then I lit candles, and I watched Glitch last night. Had I already finished season 1? I think I had the night before. So I watched season 2. Oh yeah. I watched like 4 episodes last night, and then I went to bed because I had to get up for my hair appointment this morning. I'm loving that show. I will say season 2 is a little slower and a little bit more like conspiracy weirdness than season 1 was. Season 1 was really just more about like, why are these people back from the dead? Season 2 is like, oh, it's this person, like it's all this weirdness going on. So I watched like 4 episodes of that. I was like hoping that I could finish it tonight, but I just don't think that that's going to be the case because, hold on a second. Make sure this text is... Nikki, my s'mores ramen noodles are being delivered tomorrow. LMAO, she said. Because she's always buying stuff to review online. But anyway, yeah, the second season's not as good as the first one, but I'm still watching. I love it. But I thought I was going to be able to finish it tonight. But I have, oh no, I finished, yeah, because I've got episode 5 and episode 6, and then 6 episodes from season 3. So I've got 8 episodes to watch tonight. Plus I think we've got Real Housewives, I've got Below Deck Mediterranean, which those shows can wait, but if Love Island's on tonight, that's all Alex will want to watch. And I haven't heard from Tanya, so I don't know if I guess we're not going to a meeting. And then I'll probably walk if it doesn't rain. Maybe I'll end up at the casino, who knows? I don't know. Come on, be done processing. I want to show these videos. I'm so proud of these videos that I did of, what do you call it? Of, where is this at? I'm so proud of my videos that I did of the, Is this already uploading there? Of the rainstorms. Well, it was before the rain started. I'm very, very proud of it. You know how you guys asked me if I upload videos to the wrong channel? I was like, did I just upload the video to this wrong channel? I was gonna be so pissed if I did that, but I didn't. So we can all stop worrying about that. Oh my God, do you know what I was gonna do while I was talking to you guys? I was gonna make a thumbnail and I didn't do that. I don't really have to start getting ready till like 1:45, but I wanted to make this thumbnail. Dream, 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 dream. Do you guys remember I used to sing that in all my videos? Well, not all of them, but I used to sing it in quite a few of my vlogs back in the day. Where are we at on time? Oh my Lord, people are gonna be so upset because I'm gonna end this if this processing goes through. Okay, Indianapolis weather. Has Indianapolis weather changed? It was 84 when I started this. Oh, it's 83 now. Okay, let's see what the time says on here. Oh, it's just Wednesday. It just says, okay, tomorrow. Oh, it's supposed to be rain tonight. Does it say rain tonight? Are you kidding me? Wednesday, rain. 83, rain. Let's see hourly. Oh, this is, okay, wait. We want to do hours. Can we do hours? Oh, this is Wednesday. How do I do hours on this? The Weather Channel. Okay, it just stopped. Anyway, it's supposed to rain tonight. Where are these videos on my phone? I'm so excited to show you guys these. Okay, are you ready? Do you guys see this? This is look how windy that is. Look, that's my tree in my front yard. That stuff in front is like the rain hitting my phone. That literally, it was like, there was nothing, and then it was that. Can you even believe it? It was crazy town. Anyway, all right. Anything else I want to share today? I'm almost done with the Walking Dead graphic novel too. My goal was to finish it last week, but I didn't finish it last week. So, who did call me? Let's see. Spam, probably spam. Spam! Thank you, ma'am. I don't want no spam. Thank you, ma'am. I don't want no spam. Did you ever eat spam back in the day? I'll tell you what I did not like. I did not like spam. My dad actually liked spam when I was growing up as a kid. And my dad liked all that weird stuff. Like, he liked... Alex loves, what's it called? That comes in a little can. He eats it on a red bus. What's it called? Ham salad. My dad loved ham salad from the deli. Oh my God, I think it's so gross. And my dad loved the kipper snacks, the fish that come like in the little tent. Oh God, my dad ate some of that gross stuff. I did not like spam, but you know what I loved when I was a kid? And I always wanted my mom to get them, and she said, they're so expensive. I wanted Steakums. Do you guys remember Steakums that you put in the microwave that were in the frozen section? Oh my God, Steakums with mustard and mayonnaise on like French bread. Oh my God, I love that so much. I love those Steakums. I always wanted my mom to get like glazed donuts too to put in the microwave, and she always said those were so expensive. My mom always said everything was so expensive. It was though. I'd always want those small boxes of cereal, and my mom would say, you only eat like 2 of those boxes, it's a waste of money. But Mom, I love those. I loved anything that was like small books, small boxes of cereal. Yeah, but every once in a while she'd let me get them. But my mom always said, well, cereal is a waste of money. We're getting generic cereal. Anyway, I was like, I just thought I heard the sirens go off, but that's the landscapers blowing stuff on my front porch, probably all the mess on my front porch. Did you hear that? All right, well, I hope that you guys have a magically amazing, what is today? Tuesday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.